Your local election headquarters. It is primary election day in Utah, which means by the end of the night, voters will decide on a number of party nominations throughout the state. Chief political correspondent Glenn Mills is in studio to break down some of the big races. Glenn?
Kim, primary voters are weighing in on 3 U.S. congressional races right here in Utah, 2 on the Republican side and 1 for Utah Democrats. The seat hasn't been open in more than 4 decades, and a lot of eyes are watching, not just in Utah, but across the country. Former Republican presidential nominee and Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney wants the job and is up against State Representative Mike Kennedy. Kennedy beat Romney at convention by 2 points, forcing the primary. But the latest Utah policy poll predicts a landslide victory for Romney. It has him up by 43 points. This week on Inside Utah Politics, our panel weighed in on the race, saying that's how they expect things to play out today.
And he's so rightly or wrongly beloved by Utahns. I mean, they supported him in like gangbusters in 2012 in the presidential race. They still think of him as presidential material. I mean, he has that image, so I don't think that it's going to be a close race.
Romney almost has an incumbent status because he's been on the ballot in Utah, got over 90% in the presidential primary the first time. And Kennedy's a good candidate. He's a good guy, and we worked with him in the legislature. Yeah. But no one's going to beat Mitt Romney.
Tonight, the Republican nomination will also be settled in Utah's 3rd congressional district. Representative John Curtis is taking on former state representative Chris Herod. The two faced off in the special election last year as well, but this time around, there's a much different tone. Curtis won big at convention, barely missing out on taking the nomination there. And the latest Utah policy poll has him up by 47 points.
I think it's going to be a relatively easy victory for Representative Curtis, bigger than the margin was last year.
In the 1st congressional district, Lee Castillo and Kurt Weiland are vying for the Democratic nomination. Kim, first results will start to come in after those polls close at 8 p.m.
All right, and you'll be busy.